Hey, race fans, Alex Weaver here from my living room in Charlotte, North Carolina. The date is set this Sunday, May 17th. We're going racing at Darlington, and NASCAR is back. I'm going to welcome in now the driver of the number 10 for Stewart Haas Racing, Aric Almirola. Aric, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful and cannot wait to get back on the racetrack this weekend at Darlington.
So I have to ask you, how does quarantine look like? Because I know that you have two kids at home, you have your wife at home, so it's been a little different than what we're used to traveling every single weekend.
Yeah, it's very different, but it's been good. Our family's always been a family that spends a lot of time together anyway. I think my wife and kids traveled with me to 20 or so races last year, and I try and do my best to be home during the week, especially around dinner time, and so I can spend time with the kids. So we typically spend a lot of time together, but we're spending all of our time together now, so it's definitely different. But it has been good. It's been nice to just be home and be with the family, eat every single meal together around the dining room table, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I am ready to get back in my race car. Very, very, very excited about getting back going.
Well, we have that date. It's Sunday at Darlington is when NASCAR is officially going to be back on the real track. And I have to ask you, what does prep look like? Because this has been a period that's been longer than the off season, and it's been a complete off season.
Yeah, it has been. It has been very unusual. Prep for me is spent quite a bit of time reviewing some film and stuff from Darlington, looking at data from last year's race at Darlington, and then using the Ford simulator that just got opened back up. Obviously, very different in how we use it and how we enter the building and all of those things, with all of the guidelines that we have to follow, all the protocols. But it has been our really only tool to use to prepare for the event. So that is something that we're leaning on is the Ford Performance Simulator, and then just virtual meetings, meeting with my team guys, my crew chief, my engineers, on virtual meetings, just like we're doing right here, to talk and go over the preparation for the event.
With no practice, no qualifying, we hear it a lot that you want to have speed off of the truck, but this is literally you want to have speed off of the truck to get ready to run that race on Sunday. So you mentioned those virtual meetings and talking with those guys. What's the communication been like to just get ready and make sure that the truck unloads and it's speed in the 10 car?
Yeah, just going off of last year's race notes, but then also including what we've learned from this year, because we've already run a few races this year at the beginning of the season with things that we learned from the end of last year. So we feel like our cars are better than where we were at Darlington wise last year. And so just incorporating some of those new, body builds and setup ideas and things into what we learned from last year's Darlington race. So, but there's still a lot of unknown. We show up to the racetrack with an idea of what to expect every single weekend. But then we have practice. And so if we unload and we're off, we have an opportunity to fix it. And sometimes those fixes require some major parts changes, where now that's not really an opportunity. Where our fixes throughout the race, if we show up and we're not as good as we want to be, are going to be just pit stop adjustments. So that is a drastic difference from what we're used to, going into an event.
So, Aric, on the schedule right now, we have 2 races at Darlington, 2 races at Charlotte, and one of those is the Coca-Cola 600, which is one of the longest races we have all season. So, are you ready for 4 races in 2 weeks?
I am. That is one thing that I feel like I've done a good job at over this, couple month hiatus and quarantine and whatever you want to call it. I have diligently worked out during this downtime. Because I just enjoy working out and being physically fit, but B, because I knew at some point we were going to go back racing, and when we do go back racing, it's going to be at the hottest time of the year. So I wanted to be prepared for that. So I've done a lot of training and feel like physically I'm in as good a shape as I've ever been in. So I'm ready to go back racing. And yeah, bring on the races. It is going to be very demanding. We're going to race a lot more, a lot often, and so less time to recover. Usually we race on a Sunday, and we have the entire next week to recover, get our hydration back. All the water weight that we lose from being dehydrated inside the race car, we can replenish that throughout the week and be ready for the next event. Well, now we're going to race on a Sunday, and you have 2 days to recover and get yourself back in shape and back ready to get in a race car on a Wednesday night.
Well, it is going to be crazy for you guys, but Aric, I think you speak for all of us when we say that we are so ready to have you guys back in that car and back on track. We're going racing at Darlington. Thank you so much for joining us. Say hello to the family, and good luck to the number 10 team on Sunday.
All right. Thanks, guys. I can't wait.